These 20 somethings is a podcast where I'll be sharing my experience as a 20 something year old who's trying to navigate this thing called life. I'll be sharing the good, the bad, the ugly, the lessons, the silly thoughts, whatever it is I feel like a 20 something year old should know, I will be sharing. This is a space I've created for my other 20 something year olds and for them to feel and to know that they are not alone. I am your host, Goli the Creative, and welcome to these 20 somethings. Hello, everyone, and happy Sunday. Welcome to another episode of these 20 somethings. I'm so grateful that you guys are joining me once again. You're listening to the episode. Like always, I just want to say thank you to the love that you guys continue to show me on social media. If you do not already follow us, please head over to Instagram at these_20 somethings and hit that follow button, because that is where you're gonna get all the updates pertaining to the podcast and some of the content that I put out there. That I really feel like people really love. So please do make sure that you don't wanna. Woo! Please make sure please make sure that you are following so that you don't miss out on anything. Today's episode, I'm very, very excited about it actually, because I am hosting my fave. I'm hosting someone I met this year. Actually, we met on Instagram, and but like we officially met face to face, I think like a month, if not 2 months ago. I think it was a month. It was a month. Um, Help me welcome Mpho Shabangu. She's an amazing woman, phenomenal. I love her work, and I just felt like having her on today's episode is just gonna make sense. Like, it makes so much sense because Hope is very good when it comes to networking, is very good when it comes to communicating with people and letting people know who she is. And this has led her to be in spaces that um she didn't even imagine for herself, but because of the ability to network and connect with people, she's been in amazing spaces. So I feel like speaking to her today is just gonna make so much sense. And also I think a lot of us right now at the point where we're trying to kickstart our careers, and I think knowing how to network is very, very important. So welcome, Hope, and I'm so grateful that you're here.
Hi, Koli. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor.
Thank you for honoring my invite. Um, I know me and you had spoken about me introducing you, but I feel like it's only right that you introduce yourself and you tell your story.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So I'm Mpho Shabangu. I'm 22 years of age. Come from a small town called Mpho, KwaZulu Natal. I am a film and television graduate. I'm a former international commissioner for Girl Guides South Africa. I'm the founder of Amandla Akayo Foundation and LYP series. I'm also a girl child advocate, and on the side, I'm an artist manager. I manage a couple of DJs. So yeah, that's me. Thank you for the platform, Dolly.
These titles are like, you have so many titles and you're only 22 years old. It's like literally mind blowing. It really, really is mind blowing. And I remember the first time I met you because we were at an event, mental health event, and you were asked to facilitate. And even then I could see how you were open to the conversations that were being held. You were open to connecting and communicating with people. um and after that I realized how many people came to speak to you after that, and you didn't go to them but they came to you. So it's like you have that magnetic energy. I just want to know, have you always been that person who's able to attract people? um yeah.
Yeah. Well, growing up, well, as a little kid, I've always been a bubbly person. But I think at some point I lost that due to so many events happening in my life, and I had to heal. I think it only started when I had to introspect, and there's this life that I imagined for myself. And that's how the work really started. It started with self. And when I started being what I would love to attract, then that's when I attracted good people, people that want to learn, people that are amazing beings, people that are working towards, reaching their goals and are open to being amazing people and being good to other people, and even sharing information, because I believe that why should you keep information to yourself, yet we are here to grow one another and learn from each other. So I think that's where networking comes in. That it doesn't matter who you come across and help and who you collaborate with, what's yours will always find you. And it's very important also to just be happy for people when the winning season comes. A lot of us, we just envy and we don't want to talk to whoever. We don't want to, you know, allow people in our space because we're just afraid. What if somebody is going to be in higher platforms than, that individual at that point? But it's always important to know that timing and seasons are very important and differ. So, yeah, I think also another lesson we should learn about life is timing and being happy for other people while we're still waiting, and not saying I'm not going to network or talk to this person because I just feel like they're just going to be on a higher platform or in a higher level than where I'm at if I actually do network with them.
I love that. And then I know that you're not originally from Joburg and you only came this side because of university, right? So
Yeah.
did you then use that mindset to kind of find your feet when you got to Joburg in 2019, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah. It was not easy. It was not an easy journey because I come from a small town, and you grow up with that small town syndrome, maybe of not seeing yourself as the best, or also the so many voices. Why do you think you're gonna make it far in Joburg? Who do you think you are? So when I got to the city, I mean, I got to see a lot of individuals, and studying in Bram for 3 years, you are obviously you used to this different environment and you are exposed to different people. So that showed me a lot about the city. Yet at times, I'm glad that I never got lost, but you could see that, okay, it can get a bit too much. But I think what helped me is knowing what am I at Joburg to do? What's my
Mm,
purpose here? So
yeah.
that really took me thus far, just knowing what am I at Joburg to do, and yeah, what's my God-given purpose. And it was not easy because as I channeled my being, as I channeled my purpose, there are always people who will try to take you away from that route because they can see that you're going to go far. And I just had to be so stern and stand my ground and just allow myself to be in certain spaces and not in certain spaces. Also, if I felt like there were energies that were not good for me and they were trying to take me away from my purpose, I had to really move away from those energies. And it's not always easy. I mean, if you're a good
Mm,
person and loving person, and sometimes you really try to be there for everyone and make everyone understand why you're doing what you're doing, sometimes even explaining yourself is not enough. So it's understanding that your purpose also comes with challenges. That's also something we
yeah.
need to understand. Yeah.
I love that. Your purpose also comes with challenges because, like me, I would assume that, just because now you know what your purpose is, doesn't mean that your road is going to be smooth. I usually think that no, because I know what my purpose is, I know what I mean to do, I'm not going to come across things that kind of try to distract me from the main goal. So I really love what you just said, something to really think about, that your purpose will have challenges. But I feel like if you also hold on to the vision and you know what you want and you know why you in certain spaces, then that also kind of helps you deal with those challenges. I really, really love that.
Yes. Mm,
And
mm,
then obviously, okay, so you come to Joburg, and obviously, your whole life you lived at Ekaya. And then
yeah.
when you were in Joburg, because Joburg has a lot of characters, Joburg has a lot
Ooh.
of characters. How did you know who to associate yourself with, who not to associate yourself with, and how did you navigate that?
Sure. Um, I'm one person, I can discern with energies. So the journey has been a bit easier because I can pick up if people are being genuine or not. So the moment I figured maybe certain people in my space to use me or not, especially after my ENCA appearance, I got messages from people back at home who never even, spoke to me. Some people from the varsity that I went to that started to engage with me. So it was very easy for me to see who was who. But at the end of the day, how I handled it was, being able to say, okay, this is how far I hold this conversation, and this is how far I don't, you know.
Mm.
And at some point, people can pick up that you're not giving too much information about yourself. Because also, it was very shocking when people, saw that, okay, I got the ENCA gig, yet I job shadowed this other day at ENCA. I just went there, had so
Yeah.
much confidence, and yeah, the one of the producers, she took my number, and then I heard that there was young people and voting, and she was like, she liked my energy from day one. Don't I want to have a conversation about this on this particular day? Send me the details. Got there, and obviously in 3, 2, 1, cameras were rolling, and we went with it, and it was airing on that moment. I remember afterwards, I was a bit nervous because also it was my
Mm.
first time being on television. It was mind blowing. I was like,
Yeah.
did I say the right things? And obviously, I received messages and phone calls. So that point in time really revealed a lot, that as you also go higher, people who never supported you will act like they did. And they
Mm.
will be like, we're proud of you. I remember even somebody was like, oh, when you at our school in high school, we never believed in you, and you always told us you want to do big things. But as I said, Oli, the small town mindset, or the small town syndrome, yeah,
Mm.
it also does play an effect. But I didn't allow that to get to me. Yeah.
Sure. So how do you know? Because you saying that you went to the offices, right? And you were like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna job shadow, and then luckily you got to meet one of the producers. How do you know which which situations to approach? So
Yes.
obviously,
Mm.
like, just like, how do you know which situations
Mm.
to approach?
So the moment when I got myself at ENCA, I asked, who works at
Mm.
which department. This is me. I just finished my matric. I'm here at Joburg to study film and television. I did public speaking at school. Yeah, like I told him I also like presenting. I love acting, but however, I just chose to study film first. Yeah.
Mm.
And I got to know who works where, and I met the producers. I'm like, okay, producer's gonna be one of, you know, the modules that I study. So got to engage and also met the director. I went to the makeup department. It was a very exciting moment for me because when I got to Joburg, I even job shadowed at KFM. Like I really spread my wings. I
Mm.
just took every moment with both hands if I
Yeah,
could.
didn't limit yourself.
Yeah, I didn't. So the very important thing I did was I got to know which department is which. And I tried asking, how's that different from film? So now it's
Mm.
broadcasting, that, and I got to understand that with obviously with the news and stuff, it's not film. You can't go creative. It's
Mm.
just one process because it's news.
Yeah.
You shoot obviously within the premises, and you don't go to different locations like how it is with film. So yeah, I got to really understand the structure of both, and it made sense.
Yeah, and that's how you then made your decision in terms of which space you wanna be in more.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I
Okay.
made my decision.
Okay, so it makes sense to always evaluate your options. If you have options, then it's always right to evaluate your options. I love that. And then so you get in these new spaces. How do you then find your way? Like, how do you then navigate these new spaces? Because obviously, these spaces are different, right? They hold different values. They have
Mm,
different people. They have different energies. And I know you're
mm,
very sensitive with
mm.
energy. We always speak about this. So then, how do you find your way and navigate around new spaces?
I finally made peace with the fact that not everyone is going to have the same energy that you have. Not everyone
Mm.
is going to project, the energy that you have. Not everyone is going to be as understanding. So sometimes when networking, there are people going to come across who are cold. And I've always understood that it has more to do than the job. It has a lot to do with their own personal lives. So I try to come from a space of understanding, and if some of them choose to be cold, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to try at other spaces. If I can come back to the same person or those same people, I will on another different day. And sometimes
Mm,
it does happen. If the universe has said this was written on the stars, definitely. Then I give it another shot on a different day, and hopefully they're in a good mood. But if not, we knock on other doors. The truth is, nothing
yeah,
is going to be linear in life. Certain things are going to be non-linear. And if you do come across people that don't have the heart that you have, that don't have the understanding that you have, you need to come from a space of understanding that it really has nothing to do with you. And
it's not
probably
personal.
also, yeah, probably
Mm,
also it's not yet the timing of the universe for you to attain that or to be in that space. And it's just the universe protecting you. So sometimes you need to see further than that person being cold. Sometimes it's just saying the space is blocked for you for now, for you to learn certain things and certain skills and return back when the time is right.
sure. Because personally, I don't want to lie, I struggle with other people's energies, right? So I usually take what other people do to me very personally. And it's only now like that I'm trying to unlearn all of that. And obviously it's not gonna happen overnight. So I love what you're saying.
Yes.
It's not always personal, and having that again, that understanding that what happens in your personal life literally has nothing to do with work, and what happens with work has nothing to do with your personal life. Just having that boundary, I really
Yes.
love that. I really do. So what would your advice be to someone who is afraid to network, who's very shy? Like, how do they?
Funny enough,
Yeah.
yeah, funny enough, people always think that I don't get nervous at times. I do, especially when I've always wanted to maybe work with somebody and I see them in a space, but I'm like, okay, how do I do this? And you don't see it in my face, but I just trust that God would lead the way. It obviously gets nerve wracking because I think why people get scared of networking, you look at a person's title, you look at the followers that they
Mm,
have on social media, you look at the different life dynamics that you guys have. So probably they're in the higher class and probably you're just in the middle class. So you're like, are they really going to give you time? Are they going to recognize you? Are they going to remember you? If I find the person in another space, I will explain that, oh, I saw you the other time and yet you're with your loved ones. So I didn't want to interrupt you. So this is what I've always wanted to work on with you. And in most cases, the people are normally always delighted. And I'm always very happy because that means that the timing of the universe at that moment was the right time. So also when networking, even if you turn down or it's not yet the time, the people that you want to engage with for a certain project are busy, just trust that another opportunity will come. And even if you turn down, it's okay. That means it's God's protection for that time, or it's not yet the time. And when you see them again, have a great smile, be yourself, calm down, let go of the past and try again. Because sometimes people are not in the greatest of moods. We don't expect everyone to be in a great mood, to probably socialize with new people, or to engage when it comes to certain projects. Or maybe they have tried, opening up to working with other people and they were disappointed. So they're obviously healing through that. So let's not
mm.
always take everything personal. Try again. But yeah, when getting into that space, we should always like not think too much of the negative and hope that it works out. And even if it doesn't, knock on another door, speak to somebody else. Yes.
So then, how do you? Because I know you speaking about trying again. How do you then pick up yourself from all the failures, from all the rejections, from all the no's? Because then I can't imagine how hard it must be for someone who literally doesn't know so many people in Joburg trying to
Mm,
make a name for herself, and
mm.
now they're receiving all these rejections and all these no's. How do you pick up yourself and
In the
convince
beginning,
yourself to try
Oli,
again?
in the beginning, it was never easy. You know, I would take it personal. I would even ask myself, maybe is it because of where I come from? Um, I don't know. Maybe is it because I speak a lot of Zulu and I maybe I don't speak a lot of English.
Mm,
However, as I've grown as a person and as I've been exposed to a lot of platforms, I've learned to understand that people go through a lot. People are going through a lot, actually. And when you get to understand that, also, sometimes it has nothing to do with people, it just means that God is saying no for now. You become at peace with anything that may cause you to break down, to,
mm,
question yourself, like, are you well equipped? Like, are you okay? Is everything fine? So yeah, man, the questions get dimmed if you really understand that it has a lot to do with what the universe is structuring when it comes to your life. And yeah, we should let go of I'm not worthy enough, the imposter syndrome.
mm,
And even if when you're at platforms and thinking, why are you here? Are you deserving? I used to have the imposter syndrome. Whenever I'd find myself in spaces where I thought I'm not deserving of being there, but I am because I've always known of my purpose. But sometimes you just want to shrink yourself and say, but it's not yet the time. There are spaces that I've been in. I mean, even last year, I was speaking with the United Nations, and I think that's something I imagine myself doing in the next 6 years, if I'm not mistaken. So, in the time I arrived last year, it was a thing of, is it yet time, right? And it was written on the stars that it is. So there's always that thing that, am I well equipped? So I've had to stop
mm,
that. And I recently stopped having these questions, the imposter syndrome, if I can put it in that way. Yeah, so I'm more
mm.
understanding when it comes to, God's timing.
Yeah, I love your story. I honestly love your story. I love how you carry yourself. I think anyone who knows you knows how confident and how like straight to the point you always get and how accommodating you are to people. So I really love that. Is there anything you would like to leave us with? Like what are your last parting words?
Mm, I love that. My last parting words are always be prepared for tomorrow.
Mm,
Always be prepared for tomorrow. I'm telling you, Oli, the past 4 months have been incredibly life altering for me.
mm,
And I've always known deep down that I may not know what tomorrow has, and trusting that it's got great opportunities, that I'm going to meet the most amazing people. And the past 4 months have proven that. Like, yeah, there were spaces that I've been told the day before that, okay, you're gonna be here and this is what's needed for you, prepare. And then you meet amazing people. And that shows that whatever you obviously put out in this world will always return, whether it's
mm,
good or bad. And thus far, like, I've been so blessed. I've been thanking God, Wuti, I have, met the most amazing people. I've been at platforms which I thought probably in 5 years I'll be at those platforms. One of them I know I was
mm.
recently in a conversation or co-host for the TEDx circles. That was mind blowing because I thought I would be a TEDx speaker in the next five
Yeah.
years, which is something I still want to achieve. However, with the TEDx circle, it came at the right time. I am and was deserving of that platform because I've always king. And I'm always a person, I don't envy other people's journeys. I always trust that everything that is meant to come or align with my purpose will arrive at the right
Welcome.
time. Yeah.
Mm.
And
I love
sometimes it
that.
arrives at a time when I least expect it. So
Mm.
preparation is key, just
Yeah.
always being prepared.
Yeah. Because then all these opportunities, when they come, they don't like hit you by surprise. It's like, I've been
Yeah, you're like,
ready for
oh,
this.
like, oh, so it's really happening.
Yeah.
It's really
True.
happening.
I actually love that. I love how your life story is going. It's so inspirational. Like it's just I hope the listeners are also like taking down notes and they're realizing that preparation is key. But also, while you're preparing yourself, you also need to put yourself out there because you don't know who's watching. You don't know
Yeah,
what
and you don't
frequencies are
know
out
who you
there.
speak to. Because sometimes people not gonna, they're
Mm,
not gonna tell you right away that I am Spanbani from this place. I work in this company, and
mm,
if you're gonna let go of this mindset of looking down on people, you're gonna go far because you don't know who you come across, and don't
you
expect
really
everyone
don't.
that you wanna come across to be dressed up, in the style that you
Mm,
have in mind, whatever the case is. Even if
mm,
people haven't reached the heights of heights, people always carry a different purpose. So be kind to one another. Accept people and hear what they have to say, hear what they have to offer, as much as you also network. And I'm also speaking to people all also let people come to you and say,
mm,
okay, so as Oli, what is your podcast all about? Allow
mm,
yourself to be in that space and not say, oh, but I'm always the one who goes to people. I had that this other time. Somebody was like, oh, so I saw you here and there. So who are you actually? And I was just like, oh my word, I don't like the spotlight. But yeah, I am. And like a lot of people have called me superstar, and I don't know. I
mm,
guess also just not being ashamed of being labeled or titled with the good titles which are gonna push you.
mm,
Yeah, and always saying sometimes it's not always about you going to people. Also allow people to embrace you, to glorify
yeah.
you. You also worth, the glorification as much as you're out there trying to push and make things happen. Allow people to embrace you. For the longest time, I just thought I was not worthy of that, and now I've allowed people to praise me and to say you're doing well
Yeah.
without me saying, oh no, but I'm just trying. I'm not doing
Mm,
anything too hectic, but I've learned to be in that moment and say thank you, and also acknowledge the work that I'm putting into my purpose and that I'm putting into the universe by being there for people, by helping wherever I can, as much as I do what I do by networking. And also through networking, you heal people by having conversations with. So it's not necessarily only about collaborating, it's also about, just maybe being there for somebody and giving them that 2 cent advice that they probably need for that day. You could be saving a soul. You have no
mm,
idea. Yeah.
allow yourself to be seen, allow yourself to be used. Not like used as in like people must use you,
Yes.
but like be used as a vessel as well.
As
Because you also
God's
have,
vessel.
yeah, because
Yes.
you also have a lot to offer to the world. And as much as you are looking for people to give you things to fill you up and to help you get to certain points in your life, but you also are a vessel who has a lot of things to give. So allow yourself to be
Yes.
seen, allow yourself to be used. I love that. I loved every part of this conversation. Like there's just so many things to think about.
And
um
lastly, also, you never know how a blessing comes. Maybe your blessing comes when you are there for somebody.
exactly,
Yeah.
actually that is so true. Thank
So
you so
let us
much.
stop shrinking our minds and thinking networking is all about getting yourself there. Sometimes it's about you how reach the stars. And
mm,
that's how you receive your blessing. Because the universe is always woke. And one day, when you also least expect, somebody who put you on the platform slowly, I know what I'm talking about, especially with the TEDx circles. Somebody that I'm very close to put me there. I did not
mm,
go out because I've done things, sorry, for other people, but I've never went to the world like I did this for A, B, and C. But I've always been a firm believer that everything I obviously project or
comes back.
send to the universe, it will always come back.
I love that. I really, really do. I've been saying I love that because I literally love every part of this conversation and everything that she's saying. And I hope some people actually took notes and you guys are like, I'm gonna implement everything Hope was saying. Thank you so much, Hope. I really appreciate it. Like recording this episode was a mission, guys. Like,
Yo,
excuses me.
I
It's been
shame.
a mission. I don't even know if you guys can hear like this like background noise. I apologize so much for that. But I hope you
We
guys
did
heard.
it at the end of the day. We did it.
We did it, and I'm so grateful that you managed to join me. I am literally looking forward to hosting you again. You are definitely coming back on this platform. Like, I'm having you
Oh, I'd
again.
love to. I would really love
And
to.
yeah, like, thank you so much. I think this is gonna be the end of the podcast. You guys can actually follow Hope on her social media platforms. Can you share your handles, please?
It's uhope underscore shabangu. So it's UHOPE underscore SHABANGU. Did you
Is
said
this
I did it?
everywhere?
Oh my gosh, guys. Yeah, so on Instagram you'll find me. Uhope underscore shabangu. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to me. And Oli, it's been such an honor, mind blowing to share this platform. Like, as soon as you told me, I was like, what? Ah, child. I'm
I'm
gonna be your fifth
coming.
guest. I love such conversations. They are filled with growth. They fuel my soul, and I always look forward to having, engagements or conversations with people, especially conversations that are growing us as, the
Young
next
people.
generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these 20 somethings, love it.
Thank thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, please follow me on my page as well. It's pages. It's Chloe the Creative on Instagram and Twitter. And that's it from me this week. I'll see you guys in the next 2 weeks. But thank you so much. Bye guys. Have a beautiful week. Bye.
Bye.